Hello, boys and girls. So, for this lesson, we are going to continue reviewing our notes and rest. I know we did this 2 weeks ago, but the goal with this lesson is that we can write our own rhythms. So, I know we've done that before when we were together, but I want to go back to that and see what awesome rhythm compositions you can come up with. So, go ahead, log into Quaver. After this video, of course. And click in Student, like always. Click on the Assignments tab. And then we have Notes and Rest, Lesson 2. So click Launch. And the first thing you're going to see is a Notes and Rest chart that I have made for you. So it'll open it up in a separate tab, or you might have to download it. But it has all of our notes and rests that we have mentioned in music, except maybe our dotted quarter note. I don't know if we got to talk about that, but we're going to focus on the ones that we know this week. So we know our 16th notes. Those are our ticka-tickas, and it shows you how many beats the notes get over here. So our 16th note gets a quarter of a beat. So when we put them together, it's really fast, and we need 4 of them to make one beat. So it's going to be ticka ticka. Do that with me. Ticka ticka. Good. So the next one is our 8th notes. And with our 8th notes, they get half a beat. So I kind of like to think of it as a cookie. So if we have a whole cookie, which would be our quarter note, our ta, our 1/8 note is half of it. And then we usually put them together to make TT. So it's TT. Do that with me. TT. One more time. TT. Good. So we already talked about our quarter note and how it's one beat, but we clap and say our quarter note as ta. Do it with me. Ta. One more time. Ta. Then, just like with our notes, we also have our rest. So, with our rest, they are notes, but they are silent notes. So, with our silent notes, we don't necessarily play them, but we do like to show them when we clap our rhythms so that we can stay together. And we do that by holding out our hands. So, it would be shh, and you say the shh super quietly. Shh, for one beat, for a quarter rest. Then we have our half note, which looks like a quarter note, but it's not colored in the middle. And that is 2 beats. So we clap the first beat and we hold out the second beat. So it's going to be ta. Do that with me. Ta. One more time. Ta. Then we have our half rest that looks like a hat, and it gets 2 beats of silence. So it's shh or shh. Okay? And lastly, we have our whole note, which looks like a hole in the page. And this one is the longest note. It gets 4 whole beats. This is our Tarzan note because we sound like Tarzan when we say it. So it's going to be ta, and we only clap the first beat. Do it with me. Ta. Good. And then our whole rest looks like an upside down hat or a hole that you dug in the ground, and you're just going to hold out those beats of silence. So it's shh. Okay? And if you scroll down, you can see this second part of the chart, which shows you the whole note at the top, half note, and it kind of shows you how the notes fit into each other. So if you wanted to print this out, you could, and then you could write in the beats of the notes for extra practice, or you can just clap and say each note. Now, going back to Quaver, we have our next activity called Make That Rhythm 2. So we have 2 rhythms. We have to listen to them and then choose the correct one. And your instructions are always in the left lower corner if you need them. So let's press play and do the first one together. So you always want to clap the rhythm right after you hear it to get it in your brain, and then you can do it over and over. Ti ti ticka ticka ti ti ta. So that one had a lot of notes in it, those 16th notes. So that's how I can tell it apart from rhythm number 2. Or I can say both rhythms and figure it out that way too. So it's ti 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 ta. Then rhythm number 1, ti ti ticka ticka ti ti ta. So it doesn't let you click it, but you can always do this with a friend or a sibling and test each other, and they can help you see if you're right or not. And then clicking the purple button will move you on to the next one. So that's just a good warm-up. And once you're done, go on to the next slide. This is our Notes and Rest video if you want to watch it. It's 14 minutes long if you have some free time, but it's always a good review, especially listening to Quaver because he's super fun. Next, after that, you get to build your own rhythms on the staff with our middle C half notes. So unfortunately, we don't have any rest here. That's okay. This is still good practice for making rhythms with the correct amount of beats. So if we see our time signature, we remember that this tells us how many beats we need in our measures from here to this line, here to this line, and it numbers the measures for you. So they start us out with a half note, which gets 2 beats. So we already have 2 out of 4 beats. So we can do another half note, or we can use our quarter note and eighth notes. So let's go ahead and do a quarter note, and make sure you drag it more on the other half of the measure so it stays. You can put it on whatever line and space. If you have your recorder, you can also practice your melody that you're making here. So I'm gonna make one quickly, and I didn't move it over enough. There. And then, let's see, I'm just gonna finish with, well, I could leave it and I could have my rest there. So I'm gonna do that so I can have a rest. So it's ta, ta, sh. Okay? So you can make all 4 measures and clap it out, or use your recycled instruments from last week to play. Or you can grab your recorder and play, or you can just read it back to yourself, and then they have a song that you can do that to. And it plays it for you. So have fun making your melodies. Then there's one more thing before the quiz, and that is a clap a rhythm worksheet. So you can print it out and fill it out if you have a printer. If you don't, you can just grab a piece of paper and a pen and then read the directions. So they want us to fill in the empty measures with our own rhythms. And then they tell us use half, quarter, eighth notes, and rest. So what we've been using. Then we get to clap it. So for my measure, I'm just going to draw a line like that. Then I'm going to draw 4 horizontal lines to show my beats, and then another vertical line. So you can make a measure just like this. So I have beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. And I'm going to quickly fill it in with my rhythm. Ta, ta. That's 1 beat plus 1 is 2. I have 2 more beats left. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beats in my measure. I have successfully filled out a measure. So it's ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Okay, so that's how you can complete that. And you have 5 rhythms that you can fill out. You don't have to do the whole thing. This is just practice for you. Once you do that, you have your recorder song that you can look at. And for the sake of time, we're just gonna listen to it. We use our quarter notes, eighth notes, and our quarter rest. And we use B, A, and G. So this is what it sounds like. It's super fast, so you might have to practice without the music. Rest, rest, ta, 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 ti, ti. Yeah. So, if we read that without the music, you can probably practice a lot better. So, it's rest for 4 beats. Then you have your half rest, 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 quarter rest, ta, ta, rest, 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 ta, 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 rest, ta, rest, ta, 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 rest, rest, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, rest, rest, ta, 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 rest. So that's the whole song. Not too hard. We have a lot of tas and quarter rest, but the tricky part is playing and then resting. And of course, the tempo is quite fast. So if you have your recorder, make sure you practice the rhythm first, like we always do in class. Clap it out, say it, and then start adding your notes. And I would always love for you to send me videos of you playing your recorder if you have it. And then the last thing after that song is your quiz. So you're gonna go through each question. There's 6 questions. You're gonna click your answer, click next, and then at the very end, make sure you press submit so I know that you have completed your assignment for the week. If you have any questions, send me a message, and I hope you have fun. Make sure you are uploading your rhythms if you would like to share them with me. I love to see it, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.